Welcome to the short LaTeX training program. And in today's training session, we are going to discuss about the powers and roots in LaTeX. So how to write the power and root in LaTeX, which is a basic requirement of the mathematical expression. And we also discuss about the subscript and superscript. And this training is provided on Overleaf. So let's move to the overleaf system. This is the overleaf system. So there are something called the primbles and the structure to run the program. So which already fix it here. So today we are going to just discuss about the power and roots. And this side you will get the uh, presentations of the outcome as a PDF, and this side will run the program. And as you know that mathematical expression is written in the either in the beginner line or dollar or the brackets, rectangular brackets. So here we list all the type of the powers and roots. So we will use the beginner line and end line. And to save the time, we already typed it here. So here is it is beginner line and end line. So and from there in the next few lectures we will discuss about this other items. So here first take the variable powers. So like x square, y square, x to the power 3, y to the power 3, how we'll write it. So here you can write it x square, and then you can write it here x to the power 3, and it is always advisable to put the bracket like this, x to the power n, x to the power n. So the bracket is not necessary if power have a single form, but if you have a multiple expression in the power, then it is always better to put the bracket like x to the power. Let's say you want to put sine x. So in this case, if you don't put the bracket, so it will come like this. So let's try it without bracket. So now it say that there will be a problem here. Let's take something without bracket. So you say that you want to write it to a. So if you write it here to a, now you see that here the problem is here, a is coming down. So what you have to do, you have to put it here, the bracket. So multiple expression in the power, you have to put the bracket. So the superscript is similar uh, about this. The you can write as a power for the superscript. Okay, now let's say we have something power of functions. So how we can take the power of functions? So fx whole square, then sine square. If you want to write it sine square, so slash backslash sine, as we did write the sine, and then power 2, then the argument of the sine, alpha, beta, gamma, theta, whatever you want. Now inside the expressions of the function, so you can write it like this. For example, ln x to the power 5 tan x. Now if you want tan power, so let's say 10 to the power 4. So this gives us the powers inside the functions or the functions power. And this power technique also used to write the inverse of functions like sine inverse, cotangent inverse, or in general, if you write to notation as f inverse. So we can write like this. Now matrix or set power. So matrix generally we denote it by the capital alphabet. So if A is the matrix, so now if you want to denote A square, so this is A to the power 2. And also matrix inverse, you can denote like this: Q is equal Q inverse. And here math TT, just write it here to show it different. You can write it in different way. So let's math cal. So it will different font, just to show you different kind of the font. This is written there. You can write it math BB. That will gives you another expression. Okay. So as per your requirement, you can change the notations and you can use it like this. Now, the power also used to represent a vector space or linear space. So for a best example is Rn. So math BB R to the power n, math BB C to the power n. If there is required for Z2 or N3, like that. So these are the cross product of the spaces, and you can express like this way. Next, take the square root. So a square root of an expressions is written by the SQRT. SQRT is the square root, and then you have to put the curly bracket. Without the bracket, there will be a problem. So you need to put the bracket and then write the expression whatever you want to write it here. Here we wrote it x plus 5 sine 3x. So if you want, you can make a power x square or some other power, and you can continue like this. Now if we have the nth root, then how we can write it here? So this can be written as, let's say, square root of 5 of this one, fifth root of this same expression. So it can be written like this. So now if you see that here the 5 is very close. So if you want to give a little bit space, so for little space you can use backslash colon. Then you see that here there is a space is created. Now the next is the subscript. Subscript can be written as like this an, and again same way, if you want to use the multiple expressions in the subscript, then you should put the bracket. So here is a, let's say, alpha beta. If you want alpha beta, then if you don't put the bracket, so it will become like this. Okay, but you want alpha beta also in the subscript, so therefore you should put here the bracket. To direct everything should be in the subscript. Okay, so how to use the subscript in mathematics? There are many examples, but one of the best example is the hypergeometric function. So hypergeometric function, there is a subscript before and after. So like this expression f11. So if you see that, this is the notation f11. So before there is a subscript and after there is a subscript. So how to write it in the LaTeX? So you can give a blank space, okay, blank space subscript like this. Okay, so this is the create the before f the subscript and then after f as above, and then you have write the argument of the function. So that's all. So in the next lecture we'll discuss about the fraction, different kind of fraction.